Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Funds of ProLiteracy webinar. Before we get started, I wanted to go over a couple of housekeeping items. Please use the chat box to introduce yourself or provide any comments during the webinar that you'd like, and then please use the Q&A box for any questions. We'll be answering questions towards the end of the webinar, and periodically stopping for any questions that you might have, and it's easier for us to kind of manage the questions if you use that Q&A box. So with further ado, we're going to get started. Christina, can you verify that the screen is the title screen for me, please?
It is.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so joining us on this webinar today, I'll introduce myself. I am Sarah Howell. I'm a Senior Project Manager here at ProLiteracy. Christina Mills is our National Book Fund Program Director and a Project Manager at ProLiteracy. And then we also have Greg Stultz, our Educational Sales Consultant and Training Coordinator at ProLiteracy and New Readers Press on our webinar today. What we are going to cover today is just the different types of funds that ProLiteracy has, some information and requirements about those funds, the eligibility for the funds. Greg is going to talk about the various products that are involved in our digital fund. Some of those products are a little lesser known because they're more new. And we'll talk about our online grant portal and how you can access that and apply for materials through any one of the funds that we discussed today, what it looks like to create a strong proposal for one of the grants, and then what happens after your submission and your award, and any additional information that we might want to share with you. And then we'll have a nice question and answer session. So without further ado, I am going to turn it over to Christina to discuss the funds.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. We have a lot to cover, so I am going to jump right in, and I'm going to start with the first fund that we offer, and the fund that's sort of been around the longest, and that's our National Book Fund. The program was established after we noticed that there were several programs sort of going out without the materials that they needed. And so this is the 26th year, and we are still going strong. In the 25 years, we've awarded over $3 million in books and related materials. This is a no cash awards. The awards are only in the form of print materials listed on the National Book Order form. General information and requirements. The applications open from February 1st and they run through March 15th. The grants are made in the form of New Readers Press materials. The form, the order form is, you can download it right from the application, and just make sure that you do upload it to the application. The most current order form will be the only one accepted. On average, we fund approximately 65% of the applications, but this number fluctuates depending upon the support ProLiteracy gets through donors, foundations, and corporations. Throughout the year, we're actively seeking support for our National Book Fund. The National Book Fund funds organizations in the United States who provide services to adult learners. The examples of some of the products we offer is basic literacy, adult basic ed, English language learner materials, HSE prep, math, family literacy. To be eligible for a National Book Fund grant. The applicant must have clearly defined a specific need or project for the materials being requested. They also have to intend to use the materials directly with adult students receiving literacy instruction and or with literacy staff, instructors, or volunteers. You cannot have received the National Book Fund Award in 2019 or 2020 program cycles. And please answer all the questions on the application to the best of your ability and upload all required forms as directed in the online application. The next fund we're going to go over briefly, and this is a new fund that we're really excited about is the Write Her Future Institute Fund. Write Her Future Institute is a grant that provides Voxi a personalized learning language platform. Through the Write Her Future adult ed programs, you can apply for 1-year Voxi licenses for women. On the next slide, we will show a short video about how Voxi works and how it has impacted the lives of women.
$43 million adults in the United States have low literacy skills. $43 million adults in the United States have low literacy skills. 2/3 of them are women. ProLiteracy and Lancome launched the Write Her Future Institute to empower women through literacy. The Write Her Future Institute awards grants for Voxi Engine licenses to female English language learners. Voxi Engine is an innovative English solution that can be utilized on any digital device. Within its first year, 20 programs participated in the nationwide Write Her Future Institute.
One day, teacher Anya told me that she is building a team of female leaders for Write Her Future grant by Lancome.
Listen to the stories from the women of the My American Dream program in Chicago.
I moved to Chicago since June 2018.
I moved to Chicago last year.
I came here 2015.
Among immigrants ages 5 and older in 2018, only half were proficient English speakers.
I was not able to say hi, hello even though. It was, how can I explain? It was horrible for me. I was so afraid to get out from house.
I wanted to talk to native person and wanted to be involved in the community, but I didn't know how.
I use Voxi right now when I am reading article, when I'm listening news, when I am texting someone, I'm emailing someone.
That Voxi for me is an addictive.
Voxi, how is the program designed? Help people to organize themselves and keep them focused around this learning process. I would like to impress you, but it's really very good.
Yeah, Voxi is pushing me out to the community.
You don't have limits if you do it.
Learning English broadened my world.
If I'm happy, my family is happy. If my family is happy, the community is happy. Whole the world is happy by this connection between happy people.
Over the course of 3 years, 1,200 women will benefit from the Write Her Future Institute as a result of Lancome and ProLiteracy's partnership.
My name is Chai Cheng Pon,
Hirami Isano,
Padma Patel,
Soledad,
Tatiana,
and I am proud
and I am proud to be a part of the
and I am proud to be a part of the Write Her Future Institute.
Visit proliteracy.org/writeherfuture to apply today.
Okay, so that shares some of the successes that we've had with Voxi and English language learners. So to be eligible for a Write Her Future grant, an organization must be ready to onboard female learners using the Voxi platform within 30 days of your award. You also must complete a demonstration with a New Readers Press representative, answer all the questions on the application, and be willing to share progress information quarterly if requested. There's just a few things to consider before applying for Voxi through the Write Her Future Institute. One is programs should have female learners ready to onboard within 30 days of your award. So if you know that you have learners ready and can be available within 30 days of your award, feel free to go ahead and apply. Or if you have a timeline, just consider that before you apply. The Voxi platforms also requires learners and facilitators to have a certain amount of digital skills in order to get the most out of using the platform. Typically, Voxi licenses are awarded in increments of 5, and additional licenses can be requested if you have additional learners and your learners are engaging with the platform consistently. The last fund we're going to talk about is the Mobile Learning Fund. Adult literacy instructors are increasingly using technology as a way to supplement learning. The Mobile Learning Fund builds on ProLiteracy's rich history of providing quality instructional materials through the National Book Fund. Our goal is to continue building capacity among literacy programs by supporting the adoption of blended learning solutions, thereby helping learners make faster gains and reaching those learners who are on waiting lists or who can't regularly attend classes. The fund provides digital educational materials available through our New Readers Press. Oh, another thing that I think it's important to note is that if you are applying or interested in applying for Voxi licenses for men, you can do that through the Mobile Learning Fund. You're not eligible to apply for Voxi licenses through the Write Her Future Institute, but you can through the Mobile Learning Fund. So that's just something to keep in mind for your male learners. To be eligible for the Mobile Learning Fund grant, an organization must intend to implement the requested digital solutions from the New Readers Press within 3 months of acceptance of application. You must answer all questions on the application and be willing to share progress quarterly if requested. So what products are offered? We have New Readers Press Online Learning, Learning Upgrade, Voxi Engine. Engine is the new term that Voxi is using. Liamos and News for You Online. Greg Stultz, our educational sales consultant and training coordinator, is going to provide us with a short summary on each product.
Okay, thanks, Christina, and hi, everyone. I'm going to do my best to keep this short and sweet. I'll probably have to take a breath or two between descriptions. So here we go. First up, New Readers Press Online Learning, 4 separate courses: pre-HSE core skills, GED, HiSET, and now TASK, now finally TASK, test prep, in an interactive online learning environment that's accessible around the clock on all devices. Each course covers the language arts, math, social studies, and science, and features pre-tests, unit tests, and post-tests for all subjects. Additionally, the HSE courses have practice tests as well. alignment to college career readiness standards, and HSE assessment targets. It comes with guided practice, with answer explanations, online note-taking, bookmarking, highlighting to make it a more interactive experience for learners, audio for the pre-HSE course, vocabulary flashcards, games, achievement badges to keep them engaged and motivated, an adaptive study calendar, and other progress monitoring tools. What else? Useful analytics for students and instructors alike, including time on task for reporting purposes, especially important for distance learning, private and group discussion and messaging boards, an instructor resource center, and there's tons more. That is online learning. Awarded the grand prize for best mobile app in the Barbara Bush Foundation Adult Literacy X Prize competition. Learning Upgrade offers 22 courses with 60 lessons in each. Folks, that's over 1,000 lessons that include songs, videos, and games to keep adult learners engaged and accelerate growth in literacy and math from the most basic level to GED and high-set test prep. The new digital literacy course covers topics like computer and internet basics, file types and documents, net etiquette, what else? Video conferencing, job search, and there's lots more in there. Again, 60 lessons in that course. Accessible via web, smartphone, and tablet for increased time on task, Learning Upgrade gets results and provides the reporting tools and data that programs need. Voxi Engine, you've heard a little bit about, delivers highly effective English instruction through authentic content using real media sources that are updated daily, task-based language teaching, and a patented adaptive learning engine that you gotta see that provides personalized instruction on a whole new level. What it does is it constantly monitors student performance and it assigns activities that address their specific needs based on past performance. And it does that after every task and every lesson. The courses range in level from beginning literacy to advanced, from general English proficiency and academic goals to workforce readiness courses. And man, this is really rich, the workforce readiness. It's job interview prep, general business skills, leadership and management. There are career clusters like the food and beverage industry, healthcare, construction, and onto career-specific English courses for nurses, home health aides, civil engineers, flight attendants, customer service, IT support, pilots, for crying out loud, and so many more in there. There are even courses, newest ones that come to mind, there's a US citizenship course and one for diversity, inclusion, and social justice. Gee, that's not relevant right now, is it? Shorter personalized units and one and done lessons based on each student's hobbies and interests help keep the learners engaged and motivated. And that's me. That's the type of learner that I am. You know, unless it speaks to my interests, I'm just not interested. This is a really cool platform, folks. There's scheduled proficiency assessments and detailed analytics for the students and instructors. And again, as with our others, around the clock mobile and web access across all devices. And this combines to make Voxi Engine a really powerful learning tool. Liamos, or meaning let's read, I had to look it up, is an easy to use pre-ESL or English as a new language online course that teaches non-literate Spanish speaking adults to read and write in their native language. The students learn syllables, words, and basic sentence structure through 9 modules and 43 self-paced lessons that include audio support, a virtual tutor, worksheets, quizzes, diagnostic and summative assessment, an implementation guide, and even training videos. And the curriculum meets key reading and listening components of CASAS. And last but not least, and those of you who know me are probably chuckling because you know how much I like to talk about it, News for You Online. It's a weekly news source for adult learners, accessible 24/7 on computer, tablet, mobile device. Native English speakers and English language learners alike build foundational skills in the context of high interest current events and human interest stories. And I guess I should include animals too. Each edition features 7 articles from the Washington Post and Associated Press, 3 of which are written at reading levels 3 to 4, or in ESL speak, a high beginning, and 4 written at reading levels 4 to 6, or low intermediate level. The stories spark discussion while honing skills in reading comprehension and fluency, vocabulary, grammar, listening comprehension, and lots more. In addition to the 7 weekly articles, that's 7 articles 48 weeks out of the year, as we don't publish new editions during the week of Thanksgiving or the weeks before, during, and after Christmas. There's the story archive, and in the archives, there's a search function. You can go all the way back to April of 2008. You're not going to run out of material. There's also audio, interactive puzzles, a word search and a crossword puzzle, exercises, a weekly poll, tips for teachers, the weekly teacher's guide, and I'm sure I left out a couple of features, but I did promise to keep this short. So that is New Readers Press's digital product lineup. Contact your state's New Readers Press sales rep for more information, a live demonstration, even a free trial. Ask about, how could I try this on for size before making a commitment? Your sales rep will tell you how to get started. That's all I've got. Back to you, Christina.
Thanks so much, Greg. Great job. That's why we love you.
Christina, we have a few questions related to some of those products. So I think I'm going to pause here if that's okay, and we'll get a couple of these questions answered.
Yep.
So Christina actually answered a question before, but I'm going to read this just in case some others are asking the same question. And the question was, can a program apply for the Write Her Future Institute if it's currently a Voxi customer? Yes, you can. So we encourage you to apply. Then does Voxi offer live classes? Greg, do you want to field this question?
Voxi does in fact offer live virtual classes, and they offer them in 2 different ways. You can opt for a license that gives you group classes, which is let's see, how many times a month is that? I believe it's oh boy, now you got me. I think it's twice a week or 8 times a month. You can also, in addition to group classes, opt for private sessions, one-on-ones with instructors that, by the way, are on 6 continents. They're all over the globe, and they're native English speakers, certified, and many of them speak other languages as well.
Thank you, Greg. Can you test drive the Voxi product is the next question.
You can, and we would love to let you do that. It's not what I would call a pilot, but if you speak to your sales rep, she or he will take the time and show you the platform. If you're still interested, and I assure you, you will be, then your sales rep can set you up with a 30-day trial. Now, that's not for your program, but that is for you to go in and take a dive in and look from the student's perspective.
Perfect. Thank you, Greg. And then the last question is, what languages does Liamos support? And Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, but Liamos only supports Spanish.
Well, I'm not going to correct you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so those were all of the questions that we had. Keep typing in any questions as they come to you, and we will answer them after this next section.
Okay, so now that you've seen sort of what we have to offer, I'm sure you're wondering, where do I go to apply? How do I do this? Because I'm going to apply for one of these wonderful funds, or all of them. To apply for any of the funds, you must go to ProLiteracy's grant portal. The link is here on this slide for your convenience. Once you've accessed the login page, you can save it to your browser's favorites so that you can easily get back to it in the future. The online grant portal system will automatically save your application so that you can work on it over time. At this point, we are accepting applications on a rolling basis for the Mobile Learning Fund and the Write Her Future Institute. However, when the funds are spent for the year, we will no longer be accepting applications.
That is correct. And I just put the link in the chat function, so you can click that link and grab it and save it to your browser so that you don't have to worry about trying to get it from the PowerPoint.
Awesome. Thanks, Sarah. So when you do log on, this is the logon page. This is what it will look like. As you can see here, applicants must create their own account. It's really easy to do. This account is separate from your Education Network login. So if you are already using Education Network, you should be if you're not. But if you already are, this is a separate login. The online grant portal is used for many things, and several users in your organization can have an account. If you've forgotten your password, you can click on Forgot Password indicated here with the red arrow, and you can also email for support. Once you log into the system, click Apply on the top of the page. Then you'll see all of the processes that ProLiteracy is currently accepting applications for. Choose the fund you wish to apply for and click the blue Apply button in the top right corner. You are eligible to apply for any of the funds listed, with the exception of the National Book Fund if you were awarded in the last 2 years. Applying for one does not exclude you for applying for the others. So for instance, if you have male and female English language learners and you want to use Voxi with them, you can apply for the Write Her Future grant and get licenses for your female learners, and then apply for the Mobile Learning Fund grant and get licenses for your male learners. So, crafting a strong proposal. The first and most important thing is follow the directions and only submit the most recent order forms. Give clear and thoughtful answers in your narrative. Make sure you submit all the forms that are required. And carefully read the Mobile Learning Fund and Write Her Future Institute guidelines for applying on ProLiteracy's website. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. Excuse me.
Thanks. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about National Book Fund and the strong proposal section. I really want to encourage you all, if you're applying for National Book Fund, to really think about the financial circumstances and try to be detailed and you know, kind of as forthcoming as you can in that financial need situation. I'm assuming this year it's probably not going to be super difficult because COVID-19 has definitely thrown a lot of our programs for a loop, ProLiteracy itself. So I know that there's probably going to be an increase in proposals because of that. So try and make your proposal stand out as much by putting as much detail as possible in your answers as you can, because a lot of the times that proposals are not funded, there's details lacking that another proposal may be spelled out a little clearer. And Christina and I are here to kind of help at any point if you need that, but just make sure like your answers are very thoughtful and well thought out, and as much detail as you can provide, the better to securing that successful proposal.
Thanks, Sarah. Applicants are notified of acceptance via email, and if awarded, you will be required to log back into your online account where you've applied for the grant to electronically sign a grant agreement. For all of the funds ProLiteracy offers, the awardee must agree to acknowledge pro-literacy and public awareness activities. Once the grant agreement is signed, your information will be forwarded to a New Readers Press customer service representative for either onboarding or order fulfillment. Onboarding and training will be different depending on the products that you are awarded. So National Book Fund awardees will be assigned a final report due by June 30th of the following year. Mobile Learning Fund and Write Her Future Institute awardees will be assigned a final report due 1 year from their award dates. However, ProLiteracy may request reports quarterly. The reports allow ProLiteracy to update statistics so that we can seek out additional funding and also enhance the program. Photos and statements, included in the evaluations, are regularly used by ProLiteracy when speaking to funders or promoting the Mobile Learning Fund or Write Her Future Institute. Remember, we are constantly raising funds so that we can continue the programs that we have. So the information you provide in your reports are very important for us to be able to continue with these great programs. Last slide. Remember your login information. You will need this. Required follow-ups and reports. So don't forget to submit those when those are due. We usually, it's an automated system that will remind you when your reports are due. Usually within 2 weeks of something being due, you'll get a reminder. If it helps, write down your password somewhere safe. The system, as we mentioned before, will automatically save all of the applications you've submitted, whether you were accepted or denied, and also keep track and alert you of any follow-up documents you need to submit. So with all that being said, we are ready to take questions.
Okay, we have a question. Can you apply for all 3 grants, or is it best to focus on one? So,
do you want me to answer, Sarah?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, you can apply for all three grants. There's nothing prohibiting you from doing that, as long as we mentioned that caveat that you haven't been awarded the National Book Fund within the last 2 years. And we totally recognize that in today's environment, people are using print materials and digital materials. And so it makes sense that you would apply for more than one.
Yes. And I will also say at this point, Mobile Learning Fund and Write Her Future are open for applications on a year after year basis. So there is no waiting period between, so let's say you're awarded a Write Her Future Institute grant and you're using the Voxi program with female learners, and your grant is coming up and you want to apply for a second year. As long as we have this program in place, you can apply, and we strongly suggest that you do that within 30 days of your award ending. So if you're funded, let's say June 1st, put that application in around May 1st so that you can continue on with those licenses without a disruption in those licenses. And the same thing for Mobile Learning Fund. We have another question. It says, can you apply if you are a new program? Do you want to answer that, Christina?
Sure, absolutely you can. New programs are, there's no requirement that you have been a program for any length of time. You can certainly apply.
And then while we're waiting for any more questions to come in, I will say that this webinar was recorded. So please allow us a few days before you receive a follow-up email with the recording link to watch or share with others in your program. And anybody that did not attend the webinar that may be registered that you know will also receive a recording as well. And we do have another question. So what kind of training is available for products included in the Mobile Learning Fund grants? Greg, do you want to answer that?
Me. I want to answer that one. Okay, so that's a great question. As far as training is concerned, for the Mobile Learning Fund grants, we provide for your program admin training for onboarding your instructors and students and creating classes and managing them, analyzing the data. Depending on which platform you're interested in using, that could be one or more sessions. And we provide ongoing support as well. We have a support mailbox and a hotline where you can call in for help. We also have comprehensive and quick start user guides, correlations, all sorts of help and training are available. Did I answer that completely, or should I follow? Is there a follow-up question?
There's no follow-up question at this point, and I think you did answer it completely. I will say that our New Readers Press division at ProLiteracy has phenomenal customer support service through our sales reps and our customer service representatives. So we have another question. It says, who makes the decisions as to which grants are funded? Christina, do you want to answer that?
Sure. It is, well, I review applications for the most part. The National Book Fund, we get several applications. We get a lot of applications for the National Book Fund. And so we have several people evaluate the applications, and we score them based on, again, complete, did you provide enough detail? Did you clearly state the need for the materials, that kind of thing. So it's really important to be as detailed as possible in your answers, because as I said, that's evaluated by more than one person.
And for the Mobile Learning Fund and Write Her Future, we have a kind of a little bit of a different vetting process that we didn't get into a ton, but Christina will make phone calls to programs and kind of talk to them about their answers and get a feel for the program. We do ask for some product demos to be done and things like that. So there is a little bit of a follow-up from your application with those two particular funds. So
I would say what to expect if you apply for Mobile Learning Fund or Write Her Future is to expect an email asking you about your, if you've had a trial or a demo of the product that you're requesting. And if not, we offer that to you. And again, after that, I'll reach back out to you. So we have a lot of support, and we just want to make sure that you're getting all you can from the products that we offer.
Absolutely. We have another question that says, can a very small program apply?
They sure can. Absolutely.
One thing I do want to mention with the Mobile Learning Fund and specifically with Learning Upgrade, as the product is Dollar General Literacy Foundation graciously and generously provided $50,000 to our mobile learning fund this year for Learning Upgrade licenses. So we have funding available for those licenses in particular through Dollar General Literacy Foundation. We still have a bit of that money left, and we have also taken away the $3,000 limit for the mobile learning fund that we initially had placed on it for Learning Upgrade licenses and other products as well. So that is something to keep in mind. We haven't seen a lot of programs abuse the limit to, we will realistically, part of the vetting process is making sure that if you're applying for, I'm going to throw out a ridiculous number, like $15,000 worth of licenses, we're going to heavily vet your application with that. But we recognize from our sales reps, hearing some feedback from them, that $3,000 in digital materials for programs doesn't always go very far. And so some programs really wanted to apply to the mobile learning fund, but they didn't feel that it met all of their students' needs. So we listened to that feedback and we made that change. So please consider that as you're applying, that we no longer have that limit, and we have a specific pot of money for Learning Upgrade licenses, and it's a fantastic product. And we also have a Learning Upgrade challenge that we do, where you can join the challenge to get prizes. If you're a top program, if your program has a top instructor, they can earn a prize. And if your program has a top student, for either hours, certificates, or what are my three categories?
Lessons.
Lessons. Thank you. I wanted to say licenses and I knew that wasn't right. Lessons. We can give up to 3 students awards as well. So that's a really interesting way for your program to kind of figure out if it's for them. You get a 4-month pilot or trial as part of the challenge. And if you enjoy it, apply for the mobile learning fund. It's really a great kind of segue into that. Greg, this question is going to be for you. Is Learning Upgrade available to use offline in correctional facilities which don't allow internet access?
Not to my knowledge, not at this time. Learning Upgrade is still, as far as I know, exclusively an online learning platform. We are investigating with JPay and a few other vendors, the possibility of putting some of these onto tablets in an offline format. But at this time, I don't think I'm misspeaking to say it is not.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm. If I can jump in though, while we're waiting for a new question, since we're on the topic of offline use, I will say that both Voxi and our online learning, New Readers online learning courses for pre-HSE, TASK, GED, and HiSET can be accessed, and the students can work offline with the mobile app. They simply have to log in with Wi-Fi connection, and then they go to airplane mode, and they can work offline so as not to use up data. The only thing that they need to remember is to go off the airplane mode at the end of their session when they're done, and allow the work that they've completed to sync, and all of that work is saved. So that's a great feature.
Great, thank you for sharing that, Greg. That's wonderful. Okay, so we have no questions at this point. Oh, Greg, we had another question. Where was that feature found again that you were just talking about?
Oh, the offline. Sorry, I was snoozing. So I've been doing a lot of snow shoveling. You can. It depends on which one you go to. For Voxi, I'm jumping on there right now so that I can do it while I talk. For Voxi, it will actually, when you log in, you'll see that it will there will be an upload or a download rather, where you can go in and once you're in the program, it'll show you exactly how to do that. And you can actually download one or more lessons and save them and then work on them offline. Once you've downloaded, from that point, you just go to your settings and go to airplane mode and you're good to go. With our online learning platform, then it's as simple as just logging in, and I'm doing that too so that I don't make a mistake here. Logging in, and as soon as you're logged into the study dashboard as a learner, you then proceed to the settings on your mobile device. And once again, go to airplane mode, and you can work remembering that for both, that when you're finished, then you go back to a Wi-Fi connection and let your work sync before logging off.
Great. We had another question. The platforms that can be used in airplane mode, again, were the New Readers Press Online Learning and Voxi. So, and then with the, kind of follow up, since we're not having any more questions at this point, I've got Christina's email and Greg's email. Christina runs all of the Mobile Learning Fund, the Right Here Future Institute, and New National Book Fund processes. So you can email mlf@proliteracy.org, nbf@proliteracy.org, or FI, is it Christina? FI?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
At proliteracy.org, and you'll get in touch with Christina from one of those emails.
Sarah?
Yes.
May I also, as there's another question regarding how to take a sneak peek at some of these digital platforms. May I, or would you like to show them the New Readers Press website very quickly? Can I share my screen, or?
I actually pulled New Readers Press up, so let me share my screen.
Great.
If I can do a new share. Okay.
Wonderful. So to find out more about these digital solutions, go to newreaderspress.com, as Sarah's just pulled up onto our screen here, and on the dashboard in the center, digital solutions. If you click on that and then scroll down, you'll see all of our offerings, and there you see them: the online learning, Voxi Engine, Learning Upgrade, Liamos, News for You Online, and it'll give you more information there. Sarah, if you'd scroll back up for the top quickly for me, if you're interested in setting up a demonstration, your state sales rep would be more than happy to work with you, set up a Zoom session, show you what's what, and help you even get started, showing you where to go exactly to apply for the Mobile Learning Fund, the Right Her Future grant, and you can see there, find a sales rep, and just click on your, find your state. There's me for New York. You'll find me there for Alaska, Nebraska, and lots of others in between too. But your contact information for your is there, and then either phone or email her or him, and we'll be off and running.
Fantastic. Thank you, Greg. Okay, so thank you all for joining us today. And we will be sending out the link to the recording very shortly. Please allow us a couple of days to get that done. And we thank you all for your time. Have a fantastic day.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Stay
I
safe
look
and healthy.
forward to seeing your applications.